This session today is for people who have been using Vapi, Retell, or any of the other low-code voice AI platforms, but are looking for more affordable solutions. Because to be honest, the voice AI platforms that I have been using are becoming more expensive. For example, Retell used to be very cheap, but now they are adding more and more charges to all of the new features they are releasing. For example, the chat feature was for free a couple of months ago, and now they're charging for it. They're charging for a knowledge base. They are charging now for longer prompts too. So it's getting expensive in Retell too. So that's why we should be looking into other stuff, into other platforms like Pipecat and LiveKit. LiveKit, I have a LiveKit video. We had a session about LiveKit a couple of months ago. You can watch that. But what is why I am now looking into Pipecat too is basically Pipecat has is much more beginner friendly than LiveKit because LiveKit doesn't have good docs in my opinion, so it's very hard to figure things out if you are a beginner. But with Pipecat, it's much more easier because they have really good instructions and documentation, so you can really with the help of AI, of course, figure things out yourself and make things work yourself. Yeah, so that's basically it. And I also want to briefly touch upon like because there are too many platforms, right, we are using. So what am I using and when am I using which platform? I still use Retell and I will be using it. Guys, can you maybe mute yourselves if you are not talking? By the way, you can also like always interrupt me if you have any questions or something is unclear. But when you're not talking, please mute yourself so we don't have any background noises. Yeah. So I basically use 3 platforms. I use Retell, Vapi, LiveKit, and Pipecat. I started with Vapi like 1.5 years ago. This was the first platform I discovered and it was very good, but I started like experiencing some latency issues and quality issues. Then I was looking into other platforms and then I discovered Retell. And Retell 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago was much more better in terms of quality and latency than Vapi. And now I would say they are both pretty similar. Some of the basic differences between Retell and Vapi is Retell is like more beginner friendly in my opinion, but it's also more restrictive. For example, it doesn't allow you to choose your own STT model, or you have limited LLM choices. You can bring your own LLMs into Retell too, but that's also involving some code. So what's the point then? Yeah, so they're limited, and that's when I personally use Vapi. For example, when new stuff or when new models come out, Vapi is very fast integrating them into their platform, and then you can really try out and see for yourself it works for you or not. Let me see, there are some questions in the chat. What do you mean by the two functionality by changing their syntax without warning? Okay. Yeah, Vapi is changing a lot of stuff quite often, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, I also had a lot of issues with Vapi where they changed something in the backend and then my stuff stopped working suddenly because they changed something and they didn't tell us. And then I had to figure out like what they changed and then adjust that. So yeah, that was an issue in Vapi and seems like it's still an issue. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. Of course, they should be notifying us, but it's just part of the development process. Yeah. So this is when I use Retell and Vapi in short. And when I started looking into open source solutions was when I started getting projects where people started asking about privacy issues and compliance issues. And back then, like a couple of months ago, Vapi and Retell didn't have the necessary compliances or the stuff that I needed for total privacy, data privacy. For example, one project was a government project, so they need total data privacy, and we need to be controlling the data and not Retell or Vapi. So that's why I started looking into Pipecat and 𝐬𝐤𝐞, because you own everything there. And another advantage is if something breaks, you can fix it. Of course, you have to figure out like what broke and how you can fix it. That's not easy. But it's in your hands, For example, Retell now for 3 days has an issue with call transfer and they haven't fixed it yet. And so my clients complain about that, and there's nothing I can do about that, right? But if I have my own solution on Pipecat with code, then it's under my control, okay? And it's my problem basically. Yeah, so that's the thing about Pipecat and 𝐬𝐤𝐞. And today we are going to build the beginners template or the starter template for Pipecat Cloud. And I'm assuming here that you don't have any coding skills. So because for Vapi and Retell, you don't need coding skills, you just need to work with the APIs and maybe N8N and make.com. So that's some basic knowledge about those things, I'm assuming today, but no coding knowledge. So if you are a little advanced with coding, this might be a little boring for you today, but you may be watching this later in the video, so you can skip some parts. So I'm gonna start. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so how I do things is I work with Hetzner. So I have all my projects on Hetzner. And what is Hetzner? It's basically a cloud server, so it's computers, but you don't own them like you own your computer. You just rent them each month, okay? So, and why I'm doing this for all my clients is because I have limited resources on my computer and I want everything to be separate, okay? And I don't want to be using my computer's resources to the max. So that's why I use Hetzner, but you can use any hosting server you like. Yeah, and in Hetzner, what we are going to do, we are going to set up our computer, cloud computer, let's say, server. That we are then going to use to install Pipecat stuff on it. You don't really need this because we will going to host our Pipecat project on Pipecat Cloud. But as I said, it's good to have a cloud server for your clients. Okay, so and what we are going to do here, we are going to first choose the location of our server. You choose, it's really important which location you choose because with voice AI we want a low latency, so we should choose like the location that is closest to us. So this is closest to me, and just choose this here. Or no, sorry, we need actually Docker for this because we are going to work with Docker. And what is Docker? It's like a container, a standard container that will allow us to run Pipecat on later. Okay, then we have here shared CPU and dedicated CPU. So shared is basically you are sharing your computer's resources with other people, but your data is still safe, so nobody else can see your data. But you are sharing like the power or the CPU with other people too. And dedicated is you have the whole power for yourself. And of course, this will be more expensive than this one. I mostly use the shared CPU, and for this case, we don't need a dedicated one because we just want to have the project data on the server, and we don't really need the power of it because the power of for our voice agent will come from Pipecat Cloud. And in this case, we are going to choose this because that's what Pipecat Cloud uses too. And I will choose this one today, but you can choose this just because I want things to be fast today. But you can just choose this. It will be enough. Okay, then here we don't need anything. So, and then SSH keys. What are SSH keys? SSH keys is like a method for authentication. There, you can log in into this server via a password and your user details, but that's not very safe. So we are going to use an SSH key, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, for now we will leave this as is, and we will add the SSH key later. Okay, or no, let's just do it now. I think it's better. Okay, so I want to teach you things the way I learned, because as you may know, I'm also not a developer. So I learned everything through AI. And yeah, I just want to show you my method so you can later independently solve yourself your problems without needing any help from anybody. Okay, because AI can solve any problems right now. So what we are going to do is, so I'm assuming now, because you're a beginner, you don't know how to generate your SSH key, and you will go to ChatGPT, of course, or any other LLM, and you will ask how can I generate an SSH key on my computer. Okay, so it explains you how to do that. And I'm on a Mac, so I will copy this. And now what you're going to do on your computer is your computer has a terminal, and you reach your terminal on Mac. It's Command and space, and then you get this spotlight search here, and then you type in terminal. Okay, and here on your terminal, basically, you can type the commands. It's basically another way accessing your computer. So on your computer, you're seeing this visual desktop here, and this is another way to access the stuff on your computer, your folders. You can access anything from here too. And that's how we code things, and that's why we need this terminal here. So everything we're going to do here. So I just copied this from ChatGPT and I'm pasting it here. Yeah, you should maybe put in your own email address here, but it's not that important. You can leave it as is here too. And then it's asking you to enter file in which to save the key. Okay, you just click enter. And then we need a passphrase. That's basically your password. I will say test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Okay, then what it has done is now it has generated something that's called public key and a private key. The private key is saved on your computer, and the public key is what you will paste into Hetzner in a minute. And so this is how the authentication happens. Basically, the public key searches for your private key on your computer, and if they match, then the connection will happen. And if they don't match because another computer doesn't have your private key, then you will not be able to log in into your computer. We are going to copy this and paste it into ChatGPT and ask, I got this, what's the public key that I can use in Hetzner? Great. Okay, now it says I should run this command. Here's how to get your public key. Okay, now I got it. Yeah, so this is the public key. And we can paste that into here. Okay, now it's done. We are adding it here. Okay, then firewalls is also important when you have your stuff in production, actually. But I think this is too much for today. I guess you will be able to figure this out asking ChatGPT how to set up your firewalls once you have your project in production. But firewalls is just protecting your server from hacking. And backups, yeah, I recommend having backups here so you don't lose your data, especially when you're developing stuff and when you're a beginner. then you can use your backups. Actually, when you made a mistake and you don't know how to go back to your initial state, then you can use your backups to rebuild your server to the state to the state before. Yeah, and it will add 20% to the cost. Yeah, and that's it for here actually. And now we can give it a name here. And now we will create our server. And here you can see it's being created. Okay, it's ready. When this is green, it means it's ready. So now, as a beginner, we don't know like how to get into that server right now. And we will of course ask ChatGPT again. And I will copy this IP and I will say, I set up my server on Hetzner. This is the IP. How can I log in into it? Okay, it says I should do this SSH root and my IP. Is this my IP? Yes. Okay, let's try this here. By the way, I like to have like a clear view of my terminal, so I do clear and then everything. It's actually not deleted, it's just deleted from the view, but you can see it here. So, okay, and then let's paste this in here. Now it says the key is not known by any other names. You get this every time you set up a new server. You just say yes, and then I enter my passphrase that I gave it before. You remember I said test 1, 2, 3. Okay, now when you get this, it means you are logged in. Let's clear that again. And we are now actually, so I'm not on my computer anymore. I'm on my Pipecat server right now. So everything that I'm doing from now on will not be on my computer, but it will be on the server that we just created. Okay, now I will close this because I will show you another thing here. So now we are going to use Cursor. So Cursor is an IDE. An IDE, what was the full name? I don't remember, but it is it is basically another way of reaching your terminal, but here you can see your files, because from your terminal it's not that easy. You can still see your files in your terminal, but it's not that great, you know. So, and here you have like a good view of your terminal and of your files. Yeah. Okay, so it's connecting to my other server. I will close this so I can show you how to set up your server that you just created here. So if you want to connect to the server that we just created in Hetzner, we will say connect to host, and we will add our new server here. So as you can see, I have many here, but I want to add the new one here now. So, and here you can see I need to give it the same command that I just used in the terminal, which was this one. And now I need to choose where my SSH keys were saved, so it can refer to it, but I'm not sure yet. Was it this one or this one? Let's see if it's this one and try. Okay, host, edit, and let's connect. Okay, you can see here setting up, and here you now are asked to again enter your passphrase, test123. Let's see if it connects. Okay, it seems it's connected now. Is it downloading VS Code server? Okay. Okay, we are connected, and now we are inside of our, you can see here when you're connected, it will appear here. We are now inside of our server. You can see it here too. Okay, now we can get into the Pipecat stuff. So here. So what we are going to do is, okay, let me first explain to you the difference between Pipecat Cloud and just Pipecat and actually daily. There's also, these three are actually one team. Yeah, so there is something called daily, but they will become one with Pipecat Cloud on July 1st. So you don't need to know about the difference, really. We just need to know about the Pipecat Cloud and Pipecat, just Pipecat difference. And the difference is that Pipecat is the open source project that you can access on their GitHub. Where was it? Oh, okay, this. You see it's just Pipecat here without the cloud. So here you can see all their examples, project examples. So again, why I like Pipecat is because they really have a lot of examples already set up for us, configured, so that it's really easy for us to set them up through just a couple of commands. We don't need like to set up a lot of things because they have already a lot of stuff, a lot of templates and stuff like that for us. And the Pipecat Cloud is their hosting solution for all the Pipecat stuff that they're building out right now. So it's something very new, and it's like at the beginning stages of its development. So since it's very new yet, it's not like actually that yeah, 100%, let's say. So actually I just had an issue just this morning, and I would recommend you to join their Discord because they're really helpful and they're really quick with answers. Here I just had an issue with Pipecat, and Mark at Daily figured it out for me very quickly, and he fixed it in the Pipecat backend very quickly. So shout out to him, to Mark. And in general, like Pipecat Discord is really amazing. They're really quick with answering questions and really helping people. Yeah, they're really great. So please join the Discord here. And yeah, as I said, like Pipecat Cloud is just a hosting solution for Pipecat, but the great thing is you don't have to use Pipecat Cloud if you don't want to. You can also self-host it the way you would like to, but just the thing about Pipecat Cloud is that they are making it easy to host their projects, their open source projects on their hosting server. Yeah, so that's why I would recommend this to you, and it's very, very cheap. You can still come up with your own hosting solution, but 𝐕𝐨𝐢𝐬𝐧 infrastructure, backend infrastructure, is actually not that easy to build. So it's something called WebRTC, and it's actually very complicated. And so they have built that for us. So I would just recommend you to use Pipecat Cloud. And again, it's still much more cheaper than Retell and Vapi. And let's actually look at the prices here. Pipecat Cloud pricing. So just to compare it. Is it that one? Okay. So as I told you, it's 1 cent per minute for the hosting. Okay, they actually have like two concepts here. One is active agents and another is reserved agents. So active agents is, let's say, when you want to host this on your website, then you can, if you have one active agent, that means your agent, that active agent is available. And if you click the start button, it will be available immediately. So it's already warm. And reserved agents is, let's say, when a second person wants to talk to your agent, then this reserved agent, if you have set it up, can become active too. So that it's, yeah, you can talk to it quickly, and you don't have to wait for it to start, how do you call it, to warm up. So that's basically the agents in the background and the agents, the active agents. And it's great that they price this differently. So the active ones is 1 cent, and this is cheaper per minute. And the WebRTC is free. The voice and video per participant. Oh yeah, it's only if it's multimodal, then it's this much. And if you want to integrate it with SIP, then it's this much. Yeah. But overall, it's still much more cheaper than Retell if you add all of these still. And what's also great about this is, let me show you, where is that? Noise cancellation. Noise cancellation, here. 100K minutes is free. Retell charges this extra too, and after 100K it's this much. Okay. Yeah, and of course you bring your own text to speech and LLM stuff into that. Yeah. Okay, then So we are going to look into the quick start page. As I said, Pipecat is really great with the docs. So you will just do what they say here and it will work. So they say we need Python, we need Docker, which we already installed, and then we need Docker Hub we will use in this example. Yeah. So the first thing is we need to install Docker. We don't need this actually because we are running it on our server, so we don't need that one. We just need to create a Docker Hub. So you will go to Docker Hub and create an account here. It's free for public. So you can do like public repositories and private repositories. I think you can do one private repository for free, and the public ones are unlimited. Yeah. And okay, so then let's go back here. So the first thing that we need to do is log in into our Docker. Actually, the first thing that I like to do is to first create a new directory for this project. And how you create a new directory is through this command. Then I will call it Pipecat. And then you can go to this folder. So the directory is basically a folder. And when you do this, you can see that folder in here. And then you go inside of that folder. By the way, guys, I recommend you to get the pro plan of Cursor because you can use this AI agent that knows all about your project and can help you with any problems that you have. I think it's $20 per month. So it's asking you again to log in into your server here. Okay, and then the first thing that we are going to do is to log in into our Docker here. And now, as you can see, my terminal is not open yet, so I will open it here, new terminal. And I will just paste that command in here. And it's telling me to go into this link. I will copy it and paste it into my browser. And now it's asking me to copy this code and type it in so that my Docker Hub is connected to my server. Okay. And now I'm waiting for authentication. it succeeded. Okay, we did that. And now, what's the next step? No repository creation needed yet. That's great because it's creating automatically. Okay, then it's telling us to get our API keys. We will do that in a minute. Now, remember this directory command. We will create another directory. We don't need that really because I created already one, but let's create another one inside this directory too. So just paste that in. So this means creating a new directory, and this means navigating into your new directory that you just created. So you can see that we are inside of that directory right now. Before we were just in this folder, and now we are inside of here. This is just what this command does. And then it's telling us that we need to configure our Python environment. So what's a Python environment? It's just so we can isolate our project and the dependencies that come with our project. So we just keep everything in one place and not affect any other projects and directories. So that's why we are creating an environment here, and that's what we always do basically when we set up new projects. This is just a standard thing, and we will copy that. And now see what happens here. It says that this command doesn't work for us because we don't have Python installed here. So if you're a beginner, of course you would ask what this means. So let's use our chat agent here. You can use the ask button because I don't need the agent to do anything. I just wanted to ask what this means. What should I do? And it's explaining to you what you should do now. Yeah, it's saying we should use Python 3. But this will probably not work too because we don't have that installed either. So it's not working. So let's start the next step. Install Python 3. Yeah, that's probably what we need to do here. And you can see it's installing that. And remember, this was actually mentioned here before that we need that here. So yeah. And now it's saying, let's try this again. Okay, it says again it's not working. Why? Because we installed Python 3 and it should be this one actually. This should work now. Okay, that doesn't work too. Now let's ask what we should do next. Okay, and now this should work. Okay, if you are not seeing any error messages, then it worked. And this command is for activating our environment. Or if you are on Windows, you should use this instead of this. I use this. But remember, we are not on my computer here. We are on the server computer, and it's a Linux. We are going to continue here. So this is where we left off. And now we are here, right? The Pipecat Cloud account. And let's look at that one. Where is my account? Here. So this is how your Pipecat Cloud account looks like. Here we have the overview. Okay, let me go back here. So here you have your agents. Here you will find your API keys. Later we will use that. And yeah, set this up, and you need also to configure your billing information here, because yeah, we gotta pay 1 cent per minute. Okay, and we will look into that more in a bit. So here we created our account, and now we need to paste in this command, installing pipe. So we are installing basically the Pipecat Cloud CLI. What is a CLI? It's basically the toolkit that we need to build and develop with Pipecat Cloud. And we will just paste this in to our here, and you can see it's downloading that. Okay, let me make this actually bigger. Okay, oh, that's too big. Okay, so now if you are not seeing any errors, that means it was successful. Now it says we need to authenticate ourselves with this command, and it says if that doesn't work, we need to do this. Let's see if that works. Okay, now it's giving me this link, which I will copy. So because I need to authenticate my Pipecat account right now, it says it was successful. And yeah, we are seeing successfully logged in. And now we will continue just here. Okay, now this says we will initialize the starter project with this command. It downloads a template that includes everything you need to build and deploy your first voice AI agent. And it gives us a link to other voice AI agent templates here. Let's look at that a little. Alex, please. Yes.
So just to clarify, the only reason that we set up a server is in case our local computer doesn't have enough resources, but technically we can run this locally, right?
Yeah, you don't have to do that. This setup here that I did before with Hetzner. You can just do this on your computer.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and so this will give us the starter template if we do this, but it's actually here. Let's look at this. We have also other templates here. For example, this is the one that we will use today, but we also have like other stuff here. For example, the Gemini multimodal live one. And today we are not going to look into how to set the other stuff up. If you want, I can do another session on that. We'll just do this because it's the easiest. Yes, please, someone.
I know it. So I have this question ki, with Pipecat, can we have all the functionalities that Retail or Vapi has? Let's say call
Yeah,
transfer
and more.
and
Yeah, all of it and more.
oh, cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So the thing with Pipecat is that because it's code, you can do anything with it, right? In Retail, you cannot do anything you want because Retail configured it for you and you're just allowed to use what they have set up for you. But in Pipecat, in 𝐕𝐨𝐢𝐬𝐀, you can just code anything you need.
Okay, great.
And why I like Pipecat more than 𝐕𝐈𝐾it is because of all these templates they are giving us. And yeah, it's making it really easy to set up. So that's why I use like Pipecat more actually. So and we are here now. Okay, we will use this now to get our starter template. It says this will download the starter project. Do we want it? Yes. And did it download it now? Yes, we can see we have some files in here that were downloaded. This is how our bot configuration looks like. It looks scary, I know, but you don't need to know everything about this. You just need to know what you need to change for your case. So in this case, what we are most likely to change are the TTS, the LLM, and where is the other STT? Yeah, I think we don't have it here because it's probably, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, but it's probably using the default settings, but you can still configure it here if you need something else. Yeah, so we will just not touch anything here, and let me show you where your prompt is. It's in here. So this is just an example prompt, but if you need a change, you will change it here. And of course, if you have any questions about what this stuff means, you just copy it and ask here. Yeah. Okay, let's continue here. Here we have some more explanations about what the files means. So the bot.py is the agent configuration, the pipeline. The Docker file is, let's say, the recipe of how to build the agent. It's done automatically with this Docker file. Let me show you that. So here, when we start our Docker, it runs these commands automatically. So we don't have to run them one by one every time. The requirements, you will see this file in a lot of projects. as the name says or implies, these are the required libraries or dependencies that you need for your project to run. For example, from this name, oh, where is it? Oh, okay. You need the Pipecat Cloud, and what this does is we will later the Docker file will install them later here with this command, and we will have these stuff in these folders. We don't need to know about what they are doing because the Pipecat team already has done the hard work for us, so we don't need to understand everything about what's going on here. We just need to, this is the most important file, and this is where we are doing our changes. So you should spend some time maybe chatting with this agent and maybe understanding some parts of it. Again, you don't need everything, just the TTS, the LLM, and STT parts, so you are able to change them later. Yeah, that's it basically for this one. And now let's continue here with this one. Okay, so here what this is doing is it's building our Docker referring to this file here. And now we can give it a name. My first agent is the default name. I will call it Pipecat demo. Yeah. And enter. Oops, maybe I should make this bigger here. And you can see that it's building this. So what it's doing is, as you can see, this command, it's automatically running this Docker file here and installing everything that we need for our project. Let's check out the next step. Then it says we should tag our image here. Let's do that. Now remember to change that to the name that we gave it. What did I name it? Pipecat demo. And you need to here change this to your username in your Docker account, which is let's see where you can find that. Here I can see it in my link. This is my name. I think you can also see it somewhere in your profile. Here, okay, this is your Docker username, and you have to enter it here, and also change that one to what you just used as a name. And this is the 0.1 is just the version of your voice agent if you want to track that. So this one will be just my first version, so it's okay. And if you are changing this later, you can change the versions too, so you can keep track of your changes. Now enter. Okay, no error, so it worked. Next step is push your Docker image. Again, we will use the name Pipecat demo and my username in Docker, and it's pushing it to our Docker hub in here. So it should appear here now. Okay, not yet. It's still pushing it. Okay, let's look at our next step will be adding our API keys. So in each project, usually there is like an example environment file. So an environment file is where you save your keys. You save that in a different file so that it's not inside of the code. It's not hard coded in your code, but it's in a separate file, which you can keep private. And now what next command will do, it will copy this file, which is just an example environment file, and make the actual environment file. So this has been added here now. As you can see, this is our actual file that our agent will refer to. It just copied the example one, and now here we need to configure our or paste in our API keys. So first we need Cartesia here. I just use the free account. There is, I think, a $20 thingy credit. Copy that and paste it in here. Next, we need our OpenAI key, which we go to platform OpenAI, and you go to your dashboard and get your API key from here. Copy that and paste it here. And next is your daily API key. Where do you find this? It's in your Pipecat Cloud account, which you can find under settings, and here, this is your daily API key, and you paste that in here. And now when you click this, it's asking you if you want to save this. Yes. Don't forget to save your changes. It was my beginner mistake at the very start, because I wasn't saving files, and then I was wondering like why it was not working. So always save those things. Okay, then let's move to the next step, which is creating a secret set from the file .env file. I will name this secret file again as Pipecat demo. Okay, and it's referring to my .env file that I just set up. I will say yes. Okay, if you're seeing green stuff, then it's always a good sign. Okay, we are done with this one. And now the next command is this. You have to now use the names that you used before. So for the secrets, I said Pipecat demo secrets, and for my agent name, I said Pipecat demo, and my username is sanava1. Okay, and this one is also okay. And now enter. And it's giving me a summary of the current setup. You can see right now we have 0 active agents. I will show you now how to have 1 active agent active. So if you have 0 active agents, that doesn't mean that you don't have any agents available. It will still work. I will show it to you in a minute. But it just means your agent will need a couple of seconds more to warm up. I think it's like 10 seconds. And if you have the agent active, it's like, I think three seconds to warm up. So we are waiting for this to finish. And okay, success, deployment complete. Now it's saying to start your agent, use this command. Oh, okay, I forgot something. No public API key provided. Please provide a public API key. Okay, then I missed a step here. Seems like okay, it's this one. It's a little confusing because this is like far here on at the bottom, but this is basically what we need right now. So you create API keys, organization, create key, give your key a name, Pipecat demo. You can make it your default key or not. I will say no. And this is my key that I just created. So why do you need this key right now? Why do we have so many keys? This is because if you want to later to connect your agent to a front end, this is what your front end needs later to access your agent in your backend. So that's why we need this here. And now next, set the key to be used with your agent. Okay. And now it's asking me which one I want to use because I have like a lot here. So let's say you have like different projects or clients, you would of course need like different keys for them. This was the one that I just created. Okay. And now it's saying I should use this to activate or start talking to my agent, and of course my agent's name is Pipecat demo. Let's see if this works now. Are you sure you want to start an active session for this agent? Yes. Okay, and it's giving me this link. Okay, let's first check out this link. Then I will show you something else. Can you hear this, guys? Oh, okay, I need to share the screen again. Yes, you don't have to, you can just ask your questions, guys. You don't have to.
Hi, I want to uh, ask that would we be discussing about the fine tuning of like LLM or Cartesia or like just to that the voice agent should interact naturally, even it like talking naturally or interacting naturally with the low latency? Would we be talking about the fine tuning?
Today?
Yeah.
No, not today.
Okay.
Because today I'm just showing the starter template. But would you need something like that, like more advanced?
I, yeah, I was thinking that this is okay, but if you have any document that you have made for yourself that have like the parameters and hyperparameters that are set, that you know that these parameters, if are put in, that the agent would work and have the good interaction with the lowest of the latency and the text to speech and speech to text.
No, the latency is actually not an issue here because that's what Pipecat Cloud is doing for us, right? So it's
Mm.
already set up the right infrastructure for us that so
Mhm.
that we can guarantee high performing agents, and we can actually scale that to hundreds of agents without sacrificing performance. I will show you. Let me.
But in Vapi, if you have like seen the Vapi interface, there are different parameters that needs to be set, like temperature, the tokens, and things like that. So I was talking about like what prompt and technique, and about what hyperparameters that needs to be set, so that the voice agent should interact and take that system prompt as accurate as it is, and just work what it is written in a very organized and structured manner.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, like the temperature doesn't have to do anything with latency, so it's just um, an LLM setting, right? Um,
I'm just like talking about the hyper. Like I just want the agent to interact as nice as possible and as human as possible, and also make sure that it takes into the boundaries of the system prompt, and should be do what the system prompt says. So I think for that perspective, when we like hyper tuning of the LLM would necessary. Am I correct? Am I?
you mean fine tuning?
Yeah, for example, as right now I'm talking to you and you were listening to it and you were understanding it, and you're talking it to back. Sometimes the agent doesn't like respond well. Sometimes doesn't take information from the user well, because the users are from multiple languages. They have different accents, different talking terms, and sometimes even that the AI agent do not work and perform as per the system prompt says, regarding the fallbacks, regarding the questions, how should they ask, and how should they interact.
Yeah, okay, that's a more like general question, not really Pipecat related, right? But yeah, there are like some advice that I can give you, of course.
Sure.
But I think not today because
Okay.
what
Okay.
I
Right.
said, this is like more a general voice AI question, right? But
Okay.
of course, there are a lot of methods that you can use to improve your voice AI agents. For example, instruction following actually used to be not that great in voice AI, but now it is kind of improving with the newer models. And there are specific ways of prompting that you can do. And maybe you are also asking like about languages, right?
Yeah.
Specific STT and TTS
Yes.
stuff, but that's also not about Pipecat. So
Okay.
yeah, I would
It's
just focus about Pipecat
no problem. No problem.
today.
Sorry.
Okay, so you just didn't hear the voice agent speaking, right? So let me share. Okay, I hope. Oh no, that's not that one. Sorry. Okay, so now I want to show you where you can test your agent too without clicking on that link, namely here on your account. So where is my agent that I just set up? Let's refresh the page here. Okay, here you can see it. So this is the agent. And if you click on that, and then you will see this here, sandbox. This is where you can also talk to your agent. Let's see if you can hear this now here. As you can see, it takes a little time to connect because I don't have any active agents right now.
Hello world, I am an advanced language model trained to assist with a wide range of topics. How can I help you today?
Hi, what's your name?
Hello, I don't have a personal name, but you can call me assistant.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yep, I heard it.
Okay, good. Okay, this actually was not working this morning, but as I said, Mark was able to fix this quickly. So I'm glad it worked now. And now, if for some reason this doesn't work, you can go in here into your logs and see if there is any errors. And if it's looking like this, there is no like red stuff text here, then it's good. But if you happen to get errors, then you can just take a screenshot of this and then go to the Discord and ask the people there what's wrong with your agent, okay? Or you can also go into my Discord, right? And you can also ask questions there. I'm always happy to help. Here, this is my Discord if you are new here. Okay. Oh, I'm just sharing this tab, sorry. Okay, now I want to show you some final useful stuff too. Okay, another thing that I want to show you is how to set up an active agent. Because as you have seen just now, it took like 10 seconds to initialize, but ideally on our website we don't want that, right? We want it to work within a second or two. So let's look at how we can do that here. Yeah, it's here. Scale the deployment. We are going to use this line and paste it here. So here, this is where we can set up how many agents we want to have active. Change it to your agent's name. Okay, enter. And now you can see here, I have one active agent. Do you want to proceed with the deployment? Yes. Yes. And now let's wait for this to deploy. Now when I go back to my agent, okay, it's done. Now it should work faster or initiate faster. Where is it? Where is my agent? Okay, okay. Here, let's see. Okay, you probably can't hear that, but you saw that the initiation was a lot quicker than before. That's because we now have one active agent. And if you want to bring that to 0 again, just do that. By the way, a useful tip, if you don't wanna type in your commands every time, you just click the arrow up and you can see your previous commands, okay, here. And you can just use that, the last one here. And I want to have 0 active agents again. So I do that. Okay. And on your overview, here you can see the if you have how many active sessions, active agents. Oh no, this is actually just about the sessions, not active agents. No, it is actually about the active agents, but the name is confusing because it's active agents and reserved agents. Okay. Yeah. So what else? Here, let me see if I covered everything. Yeah. Monitor and troubleshoot is also good. Let's try this. Here, now I see like the state of my agent. Here again, if I want to see it here, with this command, I can see that. And this is actually showing me the logs that I just showed you on the dashboard. But maybe you should use this here because you can just more easily copy it from here rather than the dashboard. So you're just, if you're having any problems, then you should see some red stuff in here and you copy that, okay, and paste that into Discord support group so that people can help you with your problem. Okay, I think that's it for today. Do you have any questions? Let me check the chat.
I think it was great, Noor. Thank you for putting this
How
together.
reliable is Pipecat? Are you using it in production for clients? Did you completely move away? No, I didn't move away from Retell and Vapi. I still use Retell and Vapi for production. I'm also fairly new to Pipecat, so I don't have any production projects yet, so I cannot tell you about how reliable it is. But I can almost guarantee you that it will be reliable because they just have the right infrastructure for that. And yeah, but I can give you feedback when I have projects in production.
Pipekit has also launched like startups, like built on top of Pipekit, like for medical. So it's very reliable.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
you typically wouldn't launch a whole startup on the back of Pipecat, if it wasn't reliable.
Yeah, I think actually that Vapi is built on top of Pipecat, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. How much clients are willing to pay for this high-powered AI voice agents? I don't know. What should I price? Like, it's not about how much your clients are willing to pay. It's just for how much more flexibility it gives you in developing voice agents. Of course, if it will take more time than building with Retell and Vapi, so you should charge your clients accordingly, because you will spend more time. But as I said, like Pipecat's team also has done the hard work for us. They are giving us a lot of templates. So you just need to find the right template and the right code snippets to configure. And again, you can use Cursor AI agent for that to help you with that. But once you figured out like the main components, then I think it's not that hard actually. We don't need Hetzner after this initial setup, or would it have to run the whole time like the server? So no, as I said, you don't need Hetzner. You can just use your own computer. So the only difference, if you would use your own computer, would be I connected here. As you can see here at the bottom, I'm connected to my Hetzner. But if you want to use your own computer, you can just log in into Cursor and not click that and just start typing in the terminal. Then it's within your own computer. But since I have many clients, I like to not use my computer resources for their projects, but rather have everything organized in different servers and isolated from each other. You know, it's just organizational, more structured. Yeah. Vapi has latency issues. Is this what do you mean? Yeah, at the beginning it had a lot of latency issues 1 year ago. But I haven't used it since 2 months now. Like I haven't done anything new on it, so I don't know like the actual Can you do workflows with Pipecat? Like, yeah, there's also Pipecat workflows. Let me show you. Pipecat workflows. No, it's not that one. Here's actually a YouTube video, but it's only 2 minutes, so probably not a tutorial, but this is Pipecat flows. Yeah, there's also Pipecat flows. It's similar to Retell flows and Vapi flows, but I actually stopped using flows, guys, so I wouldn't recommend it anymore because now we don't need any flows anymore. Because with single prompt you can, because the LLMs have gotten so better that they can follow like really long instructions. So I wouldn't get myself into flows. Okay. Anything else? Which models are you using? You mean LLMs? I use OpenAI most of the time. GPT-4o Mini is very good with instruction following, so I would recommend that. Yeah, I basically use GPT-4o Mini most of the time. Yeah, because it's really affordable and performing great. So, okay, thank you guys.